Hi, welcome to your weekly Pick a Card guidance reading. This is for the week of February 8th to February 15th, but as always, if you are watching this at a different date, take this as a message for that particular week that you're watching this on. So how this works is you pick a stack of cards or a stone that resonates with you the most, and the messages that come through the cards that you pick is what you need to focus on or really work with in that particular week. These messages will help you align with your higher self, give you advice and insight into your journey, hopefully give you messages that you need to hear in this particular moment and in the particular situation that you're in. My intention is to be a vessel for you and your growth, and hopefully I can say something and channel messages that will really help you in your current situation, give you some kind of reassurance on your path. So the first stack is for the stone that is representative of the crown chakra. I'm not really sure if the messages will be aligned with the crown chakra and what it symbolizes, but this is the stone that you would pick or resonate with if you were to pick the first stack. The second stack of cards is represented by this third eye chakra stone. I'm not sure of the shape either, but if you resonate with this stone, go ahead and look at the timestamps below and you can just fast forward to that if you want. So let's get started. The first stack of cards is, you have the lovers, the Tower and the Two of Cups, which does remind me of the Lovers. Then you have surrender and forgiveness and abundance. Okay, what I'm getting from this is there's gonna be this energy coming into your life very soon, and it will come as a surprise to you. And I know that through this card, the Tower. Because the Tower is like, a flash of lightning just hitting the tower abruptly, without any warning. Like, these people in the tower, they didn't know that was going to happen. They obviously were not warned, and it's very quick energy, abrupt, but also very powerful. It changes everything. And I know that this is a very gloomy picture, but if you just see the card as energy and just feel the energy of the card, then you would know it's just like this very quick thing that happens without any warning. And what I'm getting is that it would be this. You're gonna reach this place of abundance and you're gonna get what you want, because this is a card of harmony. And this right here, you see the two serpents that are kind of like intertwined with the staff of the winged lion. I mean, that's like kundalini, and that's very spiritual in its essence. And then you have these two people here exchanging cups, and to me, like, everything, all the symbolism here, it just speaks about divine feminine and divine masculine union. And so if you're familiar with a twin flame union, or like a twin flame concept, then this would be a twin flame union card. And just, if not a twin flame union card, then just a very significant partnership. I mean, these people are equals here. And so, I'm getting that the people who picked this stone and this stack of cards have been wanting this, have been desiring some kind of change, a positive change in their lives. And this is confirmation that is saying, you know, you will get that very soon. I'm not saying it's going to happen this week, but it could, you know, you never know. Something very significant could come up in your consciousness this week. Some kind of synchronicity that will, you know, reinforce this message. But definitely know that something is coming, something is changing, and it's going to be a very beautiful change. It's going to result in abundance. But this is kind of what you need to keep in mind here. First, you need to surrender. You know, surrender to the fact that you deserve this. You have a right to that happiness. And forgiveness, because maybe you've been hurt in the past, and that's blocking you from really embodying and living this harmonic energy. And maybe you have fear that, like, you know, you don't deserve it, or this person might hurt you, or like it's too good to be true, but you really want it, and you're like very tense. You feel tension in regard to this situation and this desire, if that's making sense, because, you know, you've had painful experiences in the past, to the point that you feel like you already know what's going to happen. You know that disappointment happens all the time for you, and you kind of develop this sort of cynicism about things and cynicism about your happiness. And this card is telling you to surrender to that desire. Surrender to the fact that, you know, sometimes life is disappointing, and people do disappoint, and situations are disappointing. Surrender to that fear and that uncertainty. And by surrendering, you embody courage, and that courage will help you manifest this, you know, because as you surrender, ironically enough, as you surrender to, you know, the possibility of pain and loss and disappointment, you're releasing your fear of that situation and that dependent energy, or like that dependency on its manifestation, and that desperation will be, you know, appeased by the energy of surrendering, and that will bring into you what you want. As soon as you release what you want so badly, you get it. And so, you know, you just have to forgive yourself. Also, you know, when I see the forgiveness card, I'm definitely reminded of situations where forgiveness is necessary because of the actions of other people. But I'm also reminded of the fact that there is a lot of forgiveness to be, you know, felt in ourselves, because a lot of the times we are very hard on ourselves. You know, whether we made a mistake in a relationship that resulted in its end, or like a bad situation, or we acted in a way that we feel like is wrong or disgraceful, shameful, whatever it be. You know, by forgiving yourself and knowing like you're a human being, and understanding that you are and can be subjected to mistakes, you surrender to that imperfection and to that feeling of always having to be perfect in every way, and because you're not perfect, then you don't deserve this. And so it's kind of like, boom, after you do this and you work through this, you're gonna be like hit with lightning, metaphorically speaking, and everything you desire, which is this energy, will come to you in the form of abundance, and like, you know, and forgiveness as well. I mean, forgiveness is and abundance, I feel like, is very, very similar energy. And this card is actually very similar energy to forgiveness card as well. Like, you know, they're very, very similar. And so that is definitely telling me that this is what you need to do in order to manifest this. And yeah, you do see lovers here, or you get the feeling of lovers, but it could honestly be any situation. So a situation where harmony needs to be kind of embodied and harmony needs to be had. Maybe some kind of chaotic situation in your family or friendship. There's going to be an exchange of emotions and like an equilibrium of some sort happening. And it'll come as a surprise. And it'll be like this breath of fresh air that you didn't expect, but, you know, always wanted. So yeah, for this week, be on the lookout for opportunities. Be on the lookout for abundance in your life. And definitely surrender to those desires that you feel like you can't or shouldn't have because you don't deserve it, because you're not good enough. And forgive yourself for all your imperfections. Also, forgive those who, you know, may not have asked for your forgiveness, but that you feel have power over you. And this like sudden change that you've always wanted will come effortlessly. So that's what you need to work on this week, is what I'm getting. There's some blockages and some fears and some feelings of inadequacy happening in your life. But this is telling me that you absolutely deserve what you want. But you almost feel like you don't because you're very hard on yourself. But like, surrender to the fact that you do deserve these things and that you have the right to them, and like this will happen for you, and just believe that, and it will. So those are the messages for those who picked the first stack of cards. For those who chose the second stack of cards and this stone, you get the Four of Pentacles, Temperance, Growth, Failure, and self-discipline. Okay, so yeah, definitely a lot of self-work needs to happen. There's a feeling of scarcity, and that's why this man here, he's like really holding on to the pentacles for dear life. He's stepping on them. He doesn't want anybody to take them. He's holding on too tightly. It's a card of hoarding, selfishness, you know, material possession, like putting so much importance on material acquisitions. So then you get failure here. Let's see, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn, but what I'm getting from that failure and with this card is like you feel like you have to hold on really tightly to whatever it is that you possess because you feel like there's not enough of it. And there's not enough of it because you either don't have the capacity to gain enough, like maybe you're not smart enough, or you feel like you're not as successful as you want to be, and that's why you're holding on to whatever it is, to the money or to the possessions or whatever it is that you're holding on to tightly to, whether it be a lover or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or an idea. You're holding on to it too tightly because you're identifying with it too much. So if you're holding on to somebody too tightly and you're being too clingy, it's because you don't feel like you're good enough to actually keep that person. So with Temperance here, it's a card of moderation, card of balance. This is telling you to like let go a little bit, balance yourself. Don't hold on too tightly to this thing that's like has a lot of power over you. And like I said, whether it be, problems with sharing, feeling very selfish, the opposite of generosity is this card for me. This is telling you like you need to know that this is blocking you from your growth here. So you need to have self-discipline, and it's going to be hard. I know this message is not very, like, beautiful, and it's not very, like, appealing in a sense, but this is what you need to know for you to truly reach your highest potential, and I'm just the messenger here. Like, if you pick this card, maybe there's a message here that could really be helpful for you, and if it's making you uncomfortable hearing this from a stranger, then chances are you probably need to hear it in order for you to reach where you truly want, and in order for you to have this growth that I know you desire. And like, trust me, I know, like, it's hard sometimes to accept the shadow within ourselves. But this work has to be done, and I think growth card here is so amazing that you have that, because it just shows me that there's better things coming for you, but you have to take these conscious actions and choices. And for this week, like, that's what these cards are telling you. You need to let go a little bit, and you need to know that, like, whatever it is that you feel like you don't have enough of, whether it be, physical beauty, material wealth, whether it be you're not intelligent enough, or like not as intelligent enough to keep this thing, and that's why you're holding on too tightly, because you don't want to lose it, because you feel like you can't have more of it if you lose it in this time. An example that I can give off of the top of my head is holding on to the idea of your ex being your twin flame or your soulmate, because deep inside you fear that you're not gonna have better coming in for you. Because you feel like, that person was like the best that you could ever do. This is telling you that no, you can do better. You have every capacity to do better, even if it was your fault, because you have failure here. So even if it was your fault, in a sense of like, that's why you're thinking you're not good enough, because of something that you did, or something you failed to do, or something that occurred and ended in a bad situation because of a decision or choice that you made. You still are being forgiven by your higher self and the universe and the creator, because you have growth here. So the universe and your higher self, they want you to grow. And the people who picked the last card, they got the forgiveness card, but I think that works perfectly for you as well. Whatever it is that you feel failure in, and this scarcity in here, to the point that you're holding on to it too tightly because you feel like you won't have enough of it if you let go. This is telling you, like, yeah, you do have enough, but you're so tense. You're feeling this tightness and this lack. And all of that can be fixed if you just let go and you balance that by self-discipline. So, for example, I'm not saying that this is what's happening with you, but I'm just trying to kind of communicate what the energy is as best as I could. So, for example, if you are feeling like the person that you love is too good for you, like way out of your level, because of like some failure on your part, like, you know, you're not good enough, you don't have enough money, and she's so beautiful, there's so many guys out there that want her, but you love her so much, and you know, you're so jealous of all these guys, and she could cheat on you because they have more money, and or they have 6 or 8 pack abs or something, and you don't. You need to discipline yourself and like let go. Maybe, you know, try not to be jealous when she goes out with her friends or he goes out with her friends. Discipline yourself, like maybe don't text her, let her enjoy that moment with her friends, or you know, let him enjoy that moment with his friends. Don't ask him where he's at, or don't get mad at him for wanting to go out, you know, because growth here is telling me like you need to know that you are worth that person that you're so tightly holding on to, or this thing that you're tightly holding on to and don't want to lose. You're worth that staying with you. You're worth that thing actually wanting you back genuinely, without you like having such a tight grasp on it. And I hope that's making sense. I'm trying to explain it as best as I could. But yeah, for this week, let go is what I'm getting, and actually make some conscious choices and decisions in letting go. You know, have the courage in letting go and embodying this temperance card. I mean, this is such a beautiful card right now. You know, like, it's beautiful. Temperance. Card of moderation. And you have discipline here. It's perfect, really. Let go. This week, remember to let go of your fears a little bit and do things that scare you. Do things that are the opposite of what you usually do. The opposite of the things that you usually do that hinder your growth, if that makes sense. So if you're a clingy girlfriend, always like, where are you? Or like, you never do this for me, and da 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 da. Just be like, oh, okay, like have fun, you know, and just give that person some space, regardless of how much you want to hold on to them. Just like, you know, lessen the grip, you know, and I think that will really help you grow as an individual, as scary as that is. Trust me, I know it's hard. You feel it physically when you don't want to let go of someone. You feel it physically when you're afraid to lose something. But the growth happens when you let go of that fear, because you know if it's right for you, then it will remain or it will come back. And you let go of the fear because you know like you're worth beauty in your life. You're worth this rainbow energy up here. So yeah, that's the message for you, for those who picked this third eye chakra stone. I hope that resonated with you, and I hope what I was saying made sense, and I hope that you can use that for this week and really embody those messages. And I think it could help anybody, in any situation, given that you kind of adjust the general and core energy of the message that I am receiving. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to the next weekly guidance reading with you. And I really, 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 really hope that resonated with you and gave you some insight on what you needed to keep in mind this week. Thank you again for watching.